Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest edition of Wrestle Talk Show. Hello again. I'm your host, Joshua Zimmerman, here to bring you the latest and greatest professional wrestling news, bits, rumors, ins and outs, anything and everything wrestling. We cover it. And that's right, I haven't forgotten the lead-in. I haven't forgotten how this goes. Greatly apologize to all our fans who we've left in limbo. Went through some legal issues, some personal issues, worked out the fine-tuning on that, and can't say that it won't happen again, but for as long as I was down and out, I do apologize. First and foremost, we want to thank anyone and everyone that joined the Wrestle Talk Show community via youtube.com/CWE Company. Thank you for subscribing. I did notice that. I did keep up on that. So you know, some of this news will be outdated, but I felt kind of bad. So I'm giving you everything from August 8th when I pulled this information up till now. Well, just say August 1st until now. You'll be as current. We have second quarter earnings for WWE to report, a breakdown on that, SummerSlam results, WWE releases 4 superstars, one rumored to have quit, but not allowed out of her contractual obligations, but we'll get into that. Many of you probably already know this via our friends at the PW Torch, and you probably got tired. I'll level with you guys. You probably didn't wait for us to get your wrestling fix, and that's completely understandable. And again, I do apologize for the delay. You know I don't like to do that. Normally we're up on all that, and again, for the delay, sorry. But let's make up for it by getting right into your wrestling news, beginning with your wrestling ratings. WWE Monday Night Raw for August 1st, 2011 scored a 3.3 cable rating, averaging 4.7 million viewers. TNA Impact for August 4th, 2011 scored a 1.14 cable rating, down from the week before of 1.20. WWE Friday Night SmackDown for August 5th, 2011 scored a 1.8, if I remember correctly, with an average of 2.33 million viewers, so that figure might be a little skewed. WWE Monday Night Raw for the week before SummerSlam scored a 3.09 rating, averaging 4,542,000 viewers. TNA Impact for Thursday, August 11th scored a 1.07 cable rating. Friday Night SmackDown for August 12th scored a 1.81. The WWE Raw following WWE SummerSlam for August 15th scored a 3.27, up 6% from that figure just given to you. In your wrestling news and rumors, boys and girls, again, some of this information we'll update on as we go along, but a lot of it's already been out, but the information was accumulated from August 8th until now and goes from August 1st until now, if that makes any sense, but let's get right into it. WWE wrestler Sheamus made his late-night high-profile debut on the talk show circuit with his appearance on TBS's Conan show last Thursday, I believe that was. And from the looks of it, Sheamus, who turned face the month prior, will be opposing Mark Henry in one of the featured pay-per-view matches. WWE is also emphasizing Sheamus as a representative for their anti-bullying campaign by standing up to Mark Henry in fictional TV storylines. WWE announced, again, this was as of August 8th, and announced that following that previous Friday that it would make 4 talent cuts. 3, as one is rumored to have quit, as we said to the top of the show, before the company cut her. WWE announced that Friday the release of Raw diva Melina Perez. WWE's official announcement reads, WWE has come to terms on the release of Melina Perez as of today, August 5th, 2011. WWE wishes Melina the best in all her future endeavors. Melina, a former women's division champion, had recently been used in an enhancement role on TV. She had fallen out of favor with management and was a potential candidate to be cut whenever WWE made their next series of roster cuts, which came on Friday. Along with Melina, Chris Masters has been cut, Kozlov has been cut, D.H. Smith has been cut, and Diva Gail Kim posted on her Twitter page that she quit effective today, which was that Monday. They made the releases on Friday, and Gail Kim claims that she quit. Her Twitter page the post read, "Hey, I just wanted everyone to know that I officially quit WWE on Monday. So thank you, WWE fans. This won't be the last you see of me. Love you guys," reads the post. 2 items announced for that Monday Night Raw prior to SummerSlam was the contract signing, and both champions were in action. TNA Executive Vice President of Talent Relations speaks on why he joined with the company. New TNA VP of Talent Relations, Bruce Pickard, says he came to TNA to, quote, make a difference, developing the company's talent roster, drawing from over 2 decades of experience in WWE. In an interview with syndicated columnist Alex Marvez, Pickard identified his key role of helping talent mesh with TNA's creative team. He will also be evaluating, the product and providing feedback to management on the weekly TV shows and monthly pay-per-views. Quote, "I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could make a difference," Pickard told Marvez. Pickard replaced longtime executive Terry Taylor in May. Pickard identified one key area he plans to focus on: aligning the nearly weekly house show tours with the TV product. As Marvez identified in his column, TNA's tour of Texas last weekend, which was actually 2.5 weekends ago, hardly resembled the TV product, making it difficult to market on the local level. Pickard, who attended the shows in person, says TNA does not benefit from separating TV from house shows. Quote, "I want to help bring every single aspect of Impact, from television production to live events, to script writing to marketing, all together," Pickard said. Quote, "Individually, they're strong in their own ways, but a lot of times they work independent of each other. Bringing them together would make us stronger." Pickard also shares WWE and brother love stories, discusses what he's looking for in talent, and other topics. The full interview can be read at scriptnews.com. That's SCRIPP, scriptsnews.com. And again, that reads SCRIPP SNEWS news.com. Again, this is about a week old, give or take. John Cena responds to a report that Cena Rock match for WrestleMania 28 in jeopardy. WWE champion John Cena responded Saturday night to reports of his WrestleMania 28 match against The Rock being in jeopardy. Twitter question: any truth to the rumors that a top WWE exec wants your match with The Rock removed from the WrestleMania 28 card? Cena answer, none at all. That match needs to happen. If they kick us out, we will fight in the parking lot. Gotta take the period out of that. Give me 1 second, guys. We will fight in the parking lot. The report originated at the Wrestling Observer that a top-ranking executive is lobbying for the match in Rock's hometown of Miami to be canceled. The reported concern is WWE's top star, Cena, being booed out of the Sun Life Stadium on the biggest pay-per-view of the year. Sin Cara made his early return, or did make, it already happened, from a wellness policy violation. WWE is advertising Sin Cara's TV return on next week's SmackDown episode that happened this past Friday. Sin Cara will be returning prior to serving the full length of his 30-day suspension for a wellness policy violation. It's only fitting WWE continues playing games with the suspension, as Sin Cara was believed to have had violated the policy in June before the announcement was made on July 15th. Sin Cara was written off TV at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view on July 17th via an injury angle. WWE said in a medical update that he would be out of action for 4 weeks. Chris Masters has been very outspoken, and you'll note that this is just the one quote right out of the gate when they let him go. But over that weekend, when they released him 2 weeks ago, Chris Masters speaks out against his release, surprised by the move. Just to sum this up, he was led to believe that by newly appointed COO and WWE management that they wanted to reutilize him, and we'll use that direct quote later on in the show, or as we go on in the news bits and rumors. But he was led to believe that they were just waiting for the right time to reapply his character, and it never happened. I'm optimistic. I'm going to move forward and see what lies ahead. I still love this business, and I'm not going to give up because of this small setback. I want to explore and see what options I have for the future. Former OVW champ Rod Steele found dead. Top WWE superstars comment. Rod Steele died this week as of August 8th, according to Ohio Valley Wrestling and wrestlers in the industry. A representative for OVW tells the PW Torch he was believed to have died from an apparent self-inflicted wound. Steele was a former OVW heavyweight champion in 1999 and bounced around in WWE's developmental system for several years, crossing paths with WWE champion John Cena and John Morrison, who both posted notes about Steele's death on Twitter Friday. Cleveland-based promoter JT Lightning loses his longtime battle with cancer and passes away. Cleveland-based wrestler and promoter JT Lightning, real name James Haas, has died from cancer at the age of 41. According to wrestlers in the industry, Haas was diagnosed with cancer in spring of 2010. WWE wrestler Dolph Ziggler, who is from Cleveland, posted a note on Twitter about Haas. Quote, JT Lightning passed away. Thanks to him, I got into Cleveland, all pro shows wearing a mask, and no one asked questions. Thank you, end quote. TNA X Division wrestler announces his departure from the company. And is it me, or is TNA losing a lot of talent? I hope Pickard can really pick this up, because we reported as of our last vidcast that they had lost people in with their last pay-per-view and into their next one. So, States Creative had nothing for him. TNA wrestler Amazing Red is the latest X Division wrestler to part ways with TNA. Red announced his departure from TNA on his Twitter page Thursday. Quote, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know first, TNA and I parted ways due to the creative has nothing for you line. So we are gonna future endeavor each other right now, Red said. Red joins Generation Me, Young Bucks, and Jay Lethal as recent X Division releases. Red was part of the Destination X pay-per-view last month, where he participated in an Ultimate X match. Mattel announces new figure lineup that will include current champion and legends. Mattel has announced details on their fall lineup of WWE figures and collectibles. Included is new champion Alberto Del Rio's first figure, a Legends line, and a new set of Defining Moments figure assortment featuring John Cena, Steve Austin, and Bret Hart. WWE announces SummerSlam grossed over 1 million. SummerSlam Live event at the Staples Center in Los Angeles grossed more than 1 million Sunday night, WWE announced in a press release. WWE said the live gate marked the highest grossing SummerSlam ever held at the Staples Center. WWE has hosted SummerSlam in Los Angeles the past 3 years. WWE also reported an attendance figure of 17,404 at the Staples Center. In their press release, WWE stressed numerous celebrities who made up the people in attendance Sunday night. Again, Chris Masters comments that WWE is part of the reason he was let go is he was told WWE is restructuring their talent roster. And this goes with what we just said, where he kind of thought he was being, if you ask me, it's preliminary, not preliminary, but from what I've read, they told him one thing and did another. He was dead weight. They're not going to outright say, yeah, in a month you'll be gone. But this guy, from the sounds of it, he was being told that about 80 guys were in developmental, are working the developmental process right now. And right now that they really don't know what to do. Wow. Okay, just to clarify, guys. He was released on August 5th, and from what he knows, he's told that there are about 80 guys in developmental that WWE has no clue what to do with. Again, freewebs.com/CWE Company. We're more than just a talk show. Hit us up. CWEcompany@gmail.com. If you're a wrestler, hit us up. But here's another thing that creates a topic all in itself. You have 80 men, 80 guys that want to break it in the professional wrestling business, and you're going to use about 20 of them. And that's being generous. 60 of these guys or better will not see a WWE ring, or they'll spend 3/4 of their careers in FCW until they're released anyway. So what sense does it make to bloat your developmental process up so much? Explain it to me, people. I know I've had my qualms. Some people see me as anti-WWE, and that's couldn't be further from the truth. I think you shouldn't take on more than you can chew without setting people up for... You're kind of setting them up to fail. You brought 80 guys in that you don't know what to do with. What was the point of paying for their developmental training when, well, we all know where they're going to end up, but that's a brand we don't speak of in the WWE. But we'll get into that. That'll be part of our topic. Top WWE referee suspended for 30 days after a wellness policy violation. WWE announced this past Monday that referee Mike Chioda will be suspended for 30 days for his first wellness policy violation. And within the last 2 weeks, WWE has reported their second quarter earnings breakdown. To top it all off, let's give you the pay-per-view financials. 2009 quarter two showed 35.6 million in their WrestleMania quarter. 2010 quarter two, 10.4 million in a non-WrestleMania quarter. 2011 quarter two, 34.4 million WrestleMania quarter, and with $5 increase compared to 2009. That's what they made with their $5 increase. We all seen that coming. Well, we've discussed it since it came out last year. Individual pay-per-view buys. WrestleMania 2009, 960,000 buys. 2010, 885,000 buys. 2011, 1,059,000 buys, up from initial estimate of 1,042,000 buys. Just to break it down, Extreme Rules, post WrestleMania 2010, 182,000 total buys. 2011, 209,000 total buys. Over the Limit, May 2010, 197,000 total buys. 2011, 140,000 total buys. The June pay-per-view, 143,000 buys for the Fatal 4-Way. 2011, 170,000 buys for this past Capital Punishment, down from the initial estimate of around 200,000 buys. Pay-per-view revenue first 6 months of the year, and here's your breakdown. 2007, just in pay-per-view, 55.6. 2008, 59.1, all in millions, by the way, folks. 2009, 49.2. 2010, 42.8. 2011, 47.9. So it fluctuates. You can see from 2007 to 2011, it's fallen just under, slightly around 10 million. They lost between 8 and 10 million in the course of 10 years, or 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 years. So that's 2 million a year in just in pay-per-view losses, average. Not good, not good, not good from where they were. The business breakdown: the first 6 months of the quarters, 2007 to 2011. WWE listed the total revenue for the first half of the year. 2007, again, this is all in millions, boys and girls, and is the total revenue for the first half of the year. 244.9, 2008, 292.3, 2009, 246.6, 2010, 245.6, 2011, 262.5 million, boosted by a record WrestleMania 27 business. TV rights and revenue for the first half of the year, 2007 to 11, all in millions. 2007, 45.8, 2008, 48.7, 2009, 53.2, 2010, 60.2 million, 2011, currently 63.6. So, there they've made more money. Note the company might want to increase your buy rates, your pay-per-view business. We discussed this beginning of the year, that we had our predictions, and we said that they needed to boost it for it to be a successful year. And I argued that WWE has other business model. My argument, if I remember correctly, was WWE has so many other revenue sources that one could argue that they don't care how pay-per-view revenue does, because there's always something to offset it. That's like, all right, consider this analogy for a moment. I'm going to borrow from myself because I know at the end of the week, I'm going to borrow from my rent because I know at the end of the week or end of the month, I can pay myself back. Now, this would work in theory, but they have nothing to boost their pay-per-view buys. And when you talk to our other columnists and friends such as PW Torch and ProWrestling.net, the pay-per-view business has been a major concern since the beginning of the year. Just to report again in millions, pay-per-view revenue for the first half of the year, 2007 to 2011, all in millions. 2007, 55.6, 2008, 59.1, 2009, 49.2, 2010, 42.8, 2011, 47.9. Again, all in millions. Moving down to your live events. Live events revenue for the first half of the year, 2007 to 2011. Again, all in millions. 2007, going blind. 48.3 million. 2008, 59.9. 2009, 52.4. 2010, 55.2. 2011, 54.8. So you're still getting a decent crowd for your live events. That's never been anything that they really, I mean, I could have argued that when I was at Raw at the Wachovia Center last year, there was a lot of open seats, and I thought that was the sign of something bad to come. But I guess it's hit or miss. Depends on, a $20 ticket isn't $20 after service charges. It comes out to $40 or $50, and not many people have it. But it is an experience in itself, so if you can get to it, get to it. WWE.com, by the way. Just to give you a breakdown here, and we'll post this on our website, WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. Breakdown of the revenue. Revenue sources for the first 6 months, Q1 to Q2. Revenue in millions of dollars, by the way. TV rights fees revenue, 2007. 45.8, 2008, 48.7, 2009, 53.2, 2010, 60.2, currently in 2011, 63.6. Pay-per-view revenue for the first 6 months from 2007 to 2011, 55.6 in 2011, 59.1 in 08, 49.2 in 09, 42.8 in 10, 47.9 currently in 2011. Live events revenue in 2007, 48.3 million. 2009, 59.9 million. 2008, 59.9 million. 2009, 52.4. 2010, 55.2. And currently 2011, 54.8. Consumer products revenue from first 6 months, 2007 to 11, 63.9, 75.8, 54 million, 54 million, and currently in 2011, 56.4. Total revenue for each year, first 6 months, including all other segments, total revenue was 244.9 million in 07, 292.3 million in 08, 246.6 million in 09, 245.6 in 2010, and currently in 2011 they've already gained $262.5 million. Revenue sources for the first 6 months, Q1 to Q2, percent of the total revenue. 2007, TV rights revenue made 18.7% of their total revenue. 08, 16.7%. 09, 21.6%. 2010, 24.5%. Currently in 2011, 24.2%. Pay-per-view revenue in 2007 made up 22.7% of the total revenue. 09, 20.2%. Or 08, rather. 09, 20% of the total revenue. 2010, 17.4%. And currently in 2011, 18.2%. Live events revenue in 07 made up 19.7% of the revenue. 08, 08, 20.5, 09, 21.2, 2010, 22.5%, and currently in 2011, 20.9%. Consumer products revenue in 2007 made up 26.1% of the total revenue. In 07, 08, 25.9, 09, 21.9, 2010, 22%, and currently in 2011, 21.5%. The total percentage of revenue in all of these categories in 07 made up 87% of the revenue. 08 made up 83% of the revenue. 09, 85%. 2010, 86%. And currently in 2011, all the mentioned above makes up 85% of WWE's total revenue. And moving right along, where the money is coming from. International versus domestic. Revenue sources the first 6 months, Q1 to Q2, rev in millions. North America in 2007, 187.4 million came from North America. 2008, 215.1 million. 2009, 187.3. 2010, 177.5. And currently, North America for 2011 makes up $192.7 million in revenue. Europe and Mideast and Africa for 2007 made up 41.7, 2008 52.4, 2009 41.4, 2010 40.6, and currently in 2011 42.9. Asia Pacific 2007 13.5 million, 2008 21.6, 2009 12.6, 2010 15.9, 2011 16.7. Currently, Latin America in 2007 made 2.3 million, 2008 3.2 million, 2009 5.3 million, 2010 11.6. Currently in 2011, Latin America has already earned WWE $10.2 million. Total revenue in 2007 for all the mentioned above was 244.9, 2008 292.3, 2008 292.3, 2009 246.6, 2010 245.6, and currently in 2011, all of the above mentioned international versus domestic brings WWE $262.5 million in international versus domestic purchases. Revenue sources for the first 6 months, Q1 to Q2, percent of total revenue from all the mentioned above. North America in 2007 made up 76.5%. 2008, 73.6%. 2009, 76%. 2010, 72.3%. And currently in 2011, North America accounts for 73.4% of WWE's first 6 months of their income, basically every year. Europe and Mideast and Africa, 2007 was 17%, 2008 was 17.9%, 2009 16.8%, 2010 16.5%. Currently in 2011, the before mentioned area has made up 16.3% of WWE's total revenue. Asia Pacific, 2007, 5.5%, 2008, 7.4%, 2009, 5.1%, 2010, 6.5%, and currently in 2011, Asia Pacific has made up 6.4% of WWE's total revenue. Latin America, 2007 was 0.9%. 2008, 1.1%, 2009, 2.1%, 2010, 4.7, and currently Latin America makes 3.9% of WWE's first 2 quarters of their capital. And as promised 3 days ago, but fashionably late, your coverage of WWE SummerSlam. Match 1 was a 6-man tag versus R-Truth, Alberto Del Rio, and The Miz versus Kofi Kingston, Rey Mysterio, and John Morrison. Hyping Mysterio's title rematch set for this past Monday, which we already saw, at 9 p.m. R-Truth tags Miz in, and Morrison tags Kingston. Kofi on fire with the offensive, looks for trouble in paradise, but Miz counters for skull-crushing finale and is countered by Kingston. Modified DDT by Miz, 2 count. As Kingston kicks out, Miz tags in Del Rio, and Kofi in trouble. Fights out of a submission attempt, but Del Rio suplexes for a 2 count. And Kofi kicks out again. Del Rio brings Miz back in, and Kofi in trouble again as Miz in control of this match at the moment. Kingston counters a scoop slam, both men down looking for tags. Miz tags in R-Truth, and Kofi tags in Mysterio. Mysterio sets up R-Truth and Miz for a 619, but is stopped by Del Rio. John Morrison flies to the outside and knocks out The Miz and Del Rio, allowing Mysterio to get the high-flying move off the top rope and the win over R-Truth. Your winners are of that match. The first match of the night were Rey, Kofi, and Morrison. Next, we're left with a promo and a video package. Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, John Laurinaitis, who confronts CM Punk and demands a public apology from Punk, and Punk declines as Stephanie McMahon confronts Punk, calling her clueless. Steph McMahon says, on behalf of the family, good luck. Punk declines to shake her hand, stating, I would, but I don't know where that hand's been. Pretty funny. Up next is your Mark Henry versus Sheamus promo package and video as to how this match started. Match 2, Mark Henry versus Sheamus. The 2 men lock up as Henry asserts his dominance with a hard shoulder block. Sheamus battles back with a series of punches, attempts a power move, but Henry battles out and knocks Sheamus to ringside. Michael Cole distances himself from Henry out of fear. Henry picks up Sheamus and throws him back into the ring. Punch to the face of Sheamus, knocking him out. Henry goes for a cover, but Sheamus has his foot on the bottom rope. Henry appearing to set up to finish Sheamus. Torture rack to Sheamus over the shoulder of Henry. Sheamus battles out of the hold, but is knocked out again by Henry for his efforts. Henry tries to follow up, and Sheamus takes down Henry for the first time in this match. Sheamus has Henry tied up in the ropes with continued punches. Power moves by both men put them both off their feet. Sheamus makes it to the top rope for a flying shoulder block to Henry, covers, but Henry kicks out at the 2 count. Bro kick to Henry, and he's knocked outside of the ring. Sheamus looking to follow up with his offensive. Henry counters with the punch. Henry counters the punch and throws Sheamus through the crowd barrier. Sheamus out cold as the ref counts. Sheamus can't make it back to the ring by the 10 count, and Mark Henry wins the match via countout. Promo and video package again. Josh Matthews speaking with Christian about his upcoming World Heavyweight title match, No Holds Barred versus Randy Orton. Next is your live musical performance of guest CeeLo Green performing the WrestleMania theme, It's Alright, along with a couple other tracks. Not bad. Match 3, Divas title champion Kelly Kelly versus Beth Phoenix for the Divas title. After some back and forth, Kelly Kelly dominates the offensive. has Beth stuck in the corner. Beth counters for the Grand Slam, but Kelly counters with a roll-up pin to get the 3 count and the win. Still Divas champion, Kelly. This was kind of depressing because it was a less than 5-minute match, and even the male low-carders have gotten more time. So it's still, we've been talking about it for months, but it's kind of a shame to see where they put the Divas division. My brother-in-law mentioned that we did not have a tag team title match. If you saw that, happened to notice that. That goes to show how much they don't care. But moving right along. Another promo vid and package. Truth backstage, still on his conspiracy rant, and is joined by WWE legend and manager Jimmy Hart, who advises Truth to think big and encourages him to let him help Truth bring him to the top. Truth goes off about little Jimmy and talking to himself. This is a great storyline. They were trying to make Truth crazy, and they've done a good job so far doing that. It's believable. Your 4th match. Hey, remember when Wade Barrett used to mean something? Yeah, that's right. Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett square off. Barrett works a submission and a power move, taking down Barrett. Bryan goes for the cover, but Barrett kicks out at the 2 count. Bryan looks for another submission, but Barrett battles out, and Bryan kicks Barrett in the head for another cover, and again a kick out at 2. Powerful side slam by Barrett to take back the offensive for the moment in this match. Goes for a cover, and Bryan kicks out at 2. Bryan knocks Barrett outside to the floor and kicks him in the head yet again. Bryan taking over this match. Bryan knocks out Barrett and goes for the cover, but Barrett kicks out at the 2 again. Barrett follows up with a wasteland attempt, but Bryan counters and takes back the offensive with a series of kicks. Label lock on Barrett, but he makes it to the ropes. Another typo. Damn it. And Bryan is forced to break the submission hold. Barrett connects with the wasteland and covers Bryan for the win. Your 5th match and co-main event. World Heavyweight title match. Champion Christian versus Randy Orton. Christian's major SummerSlam announcement is that Edge is in his corner, but is Edge really in his corner? Edge claims he thought he did a good thing by passing the torch to Christian, and his victory that gained him the World Heavyweight title status. Says he thought he did the right thing, but with all Christian's complaining, he wonders if it wasn't a mistake. Calls Christian...
That's mine. Don't touch it.
Okay. Calls Christian a whining, crying, moaning little bitch, and leaves Christian to fend for himself as Randy Orton makes his way to the ring. Orton counters a punch attempt by Christian, attempts to follow it up with a DDT back into the ring, but Christian counters the move and forces Orton outside the ring. RKO attempt on the announce table. Christian counters and runs for his belt and heads into the crowd. Orton follows. Back at ringside, Christian throws Orton back into the ring and goes under the ring looking for a weapon. He finds a kendo stick and climbs back into the ring, taking the offensive as he beats Orton with the weapon. Orton in the corner. Christian tries to hit Orton with the kendo stick as Orton moves out of the corner and counters his attack, knocking the weapon out of reach and taking back the offensive. Christian counters and picks up the kendo stick, back up and climbs to the top rope as Orton is bleeding from the mouth. Christian tries the kendo stick attack from the top rope, but Orton counters it with a last minute drop kick. Axe handle from the top. From the top rope. from Christian to Orton, covered by Christian, but Orton kicks out at 2. Christian tries for the kill switch, but Orton counters and goes for a cover. Christian kicks out at 2, and Orton's setting up for a kick to the skull. He moves out of harm's way and puts Orton into the ring post. Outside the ring, Orton goes for a table from under the ring. Orton sets up a table inside the ring, while outside the ring, Christian does the same. Superplex off the top rope by Orton to Christian, right onto the unfolded table, and a kick out at 2 by Christian. Orton angles the table in the corner of the ring, awaits Christian to get up. Kill switch to Orton as Orton was setting up and was distracted. Christian tries to follow it up, but is countered as Orton sets up for an RKO, but is pushed outside the ring by Christian. Both men outside the ring. Orton sets up the steel steps and Christian counters the attack. Takes apart the announce table and clocks Orton with a monitor to the head. On the table, Orton pulls off the RKO and Christian goes through the announce table. Another RKO attempt by Orton, but Christian counters and pulls out another kill switch. Victory in sight as Orton kicks out at 2.5. Christian goes ringside and grabs 2 steel chairs. Orton down and Christian sets up for a concerto. Christian spits in the face of Orton and Orton gets to his feet and takes down Christian with the steel chair, sending him to the outside of the ring and through the table set up by Christian himself earlier. Orton looks under the ring to follow up. Orton counters Christian and throws him through the table in the corner of the ring, put in place by Orton. Orton now taking the kendo stick to Christian. DDT set up by Orton onto the metal trash can inside the ring. Christian is down. Orton sets up to finish off Christian after the power move, but Christian kicks Orton in the face, but Orton pulls out another RKO and the victory. Your new World Heavyweight Champ, Randy Orton, and this is his 9th title hold, or 9th championship. And I really don't even need notes for this. Next, your second co-main event for the undisputed WWE title, John Cena versus CM Punk, with special guest COO Triple H. Good match, all around good match. It went back and forth. I mean, if it wasn't for this mistake, and it kind of pissed me off, if it wasn't for this oversight, which I think, I don't know what to make of this, because Del Rio had Money in the Bank, but I don't know, with the way they hyped it, you figured they could have had a decisive winner, and Del Rio still would have came out when everybody's guard was down. But it was basically an oversight by Triple H, where CM Punk made a cover and Cena put his foot on the bottom rope and Triple H did not see it. CM Punk is now your new undisputed WWE champion. While celebrating, Big Daddy Kevin Nash comes out and powerbombs CM Punk. Del Rio, seeing an opening in this, comes out and cashes in his Money in the Bank. So by the end of SummerSlam, your new WWE champion was Alberto Del Rio, and is, or was, as we'll be covering Raw tomorrow and all of that. So in our topic for tonight, what did you think of SummerSlam, and were you as disappointed as I was that the Cena Punk thing didn't get its own resolution and they had Del Rio cash in on Money in the Bank? What were your thoughts on Big Daddy Kevin Nash coming back to the game, as we've seen in this past week on Raw? He seems to be back. We knew he had a Legends contract, but he seems to be back in a more stable manner now. So what do you think about that? Feel free to visit the forums on WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. Let us know what you think at cwecompany@gmail.com. And until next time, guys, remember, everything can be found at WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. This video, along with every other video, is available at youtube.com/CWE Company. And again, I want to thank everyone for their patience. And we look forward to our next video, which will come probably by Saturday, as we'll cover Raw, Impact, and SmackDown all in one show. Until next time, guys, remember to subscribe, youtube.com/CWE Company. Like us on Facebook and Twitter, both at CWE Company. Have a great night.